Good there. Okay, we are live. We're a little bit, a few minutes late.
Let's give people time to hop on.
And what would we talk about these minutes?
You're watching football.
No,
You did.
no, I'm not.
So you're gonna be this.
Okay, we're gonna go into it.
No. Wait till it gets to 30.
Posted earlier today, and we done the one video last night. Well, this is going to go more into the body and the crawl space. I read that she was found with her clothes on, and I also was told that when a gentleman talked to the cop about it, that he acted weird when they asked if she had been raped. But most reports, news reports, police all say that there was no sign of sexual assault. My question is that I had yesterday when I was going back over all this: brown coat with fur
Like,
collar.
I know exactly what it's called.
Is it a puffy fur collar? Okay. Like, I knew it was found in that coat. That kind of shows some signs that. Well, they said that she most likely ate her food and all that. That would show some signs that maybe she didn't eat her food. But that means somebody else ate her food.
Yeah.
Yes. But because I would go more with that there was no sexual assault on her since she was found her clothes. But I don't think it's ever been.
Investigation.
I don't think it's ever been confirmed what clothes like she was in or anything either. I don't think it really matters. Yeah, it could be. It could be keeping it between them. Personal method, and some wonder though if it was a female who killed her because of the no strangle somebody. And we're looking at no struggle in the apartment, and I've never heard if there was a struggle in the apartment area, like in the hallway area.
I think it takes like 5 to 8 minutes because I know after like 3 or 4 you pass out, like lose consciousness.
Yeah.
And then to actually like kill someone, I think it's like a couple more minutes.
Well, I've read 10 was so it's probably 8 to 10. Like I said, I don't know struggle in the laundry room. Nothing was ever said if there was or not.
Yeah, our internet is.
Okay. So, yeah, I don't know if there was a sign of struggle in the laundry room, but I'm thinking there had to have been a struggle somewhere. But one thing that was on the Nancy Drew that aired on December 20th, when they asked him about, the police officer that was on there, and he would say, no, sir. And the back door to the apartment was open, but there's no apparent signs of any struggle. So we look at the back door being open. But I think what was it? They asked if there was any struggle like in the apartment. I think around the perimeter maybe or something, or in the hallway. Yeah, that's what it was, the hallway. But it's basically our company is good old Armstrong. Okay, the Crawlspace, I've read she was stuffed in there. And I've read, there's a little bit of room to maneuver in, but I've also been told various things. Like I've been told there's compartments, like kind of like the like little locker room cubby hole things or something. But I don't think that's where she was at though. So the gentleman I talked to on the phone, like I said, he mentioned that the crawl space was like the opening was 2 to 3 foot, and then it opened up to 3 to 4 foot. He said he was a bigger guy and he would be able to, maneuver around in there. So one thing, the plastic she was found in, I've read that it was like the clear plastic that they put down when they paint. I've read it was that. Um, then I've read it was trash bags, which I think on Web Sleuths they actually tested that with their kid, and like we use the big contractor bags, so what are they, 55-gallon?
Yeah.
And I don't know if they use just a normal size, but I'm sure if I curl up into a ball, I could probably fit in a contractor bag. I'm sure you could. No, but they said that took two. Yeah. And like I said, it had been bigger bags. Well, she was not much taller than you. You're 5 foot, and she was 5'3", 5'4", if I remember correctly. I think the shortest I've seen was 5'2", and I've seen some things say 5'4".
I feel like her stuff is really PC. Like the people that did the articles, like info and reports and everything, just kind of didn't know what they were talking about.
Yes.
One of them might have, but there's a lot of different.
I was going back on the podcast episode I done on her case a little over 2 years ago, and somebody said that's basically, because that's literally all there is speculation, and it's just basically hearsay, because most of the reports have been deleted. You got some of them that's still up, but a lot of them have been deleted, so you didn't go back on like Web Sleuths and stuff like that, and they'll kind of go along with, like, you get more because the comments are back in 2007, 2008 when all this was going on. One thing, like, I'm kind of going with, I think it was probably clear, like, kind of like rolled her up type thing in that, like in the clear. That's what I would think. That's the only thing I could think of. Like that would make sense. But if that's the case, the clear plastic bags where they were, doing work on the apartment itself, so that would have been available. If there was trash bags, it's never been confirmed if it was trash bags from her room. That she shares with her sister. And if it wasn't, then that means somebody brought trash bags with them.
You know how they don't like release stuff because if someone contacts them or someone speaks of like a certain detail that wasn't released to the public, they would know.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what they're doing, like keeping certain.
Well, because that was one of the things. Like, it was mentioned that she was in plastic, and then like everything deleted it, like all the news and stuff.
Probably something that wasn't supposed to be.
Yeah, I don't think it was supposed to get out, because that'd be the only thing that makes sense. But I read too that she was held down by bricks. I'm assuming like the little bricks, kind of like basically what the building's made out of. I don't know why you'd hold her down with bricks. That's maybe afraid of the plastic or something. Well, I don't know. I just see her being rolled up, like wrapped up in it. So I don't see it really being. I don't know. When it comes to the searching, like, I've read that they did look in the Crawlspace, but where she was so far back in there, they didn't see her. Like I said, I don't know how true that is. And I kind of, like I said, still don't think from our video last night, I don't think they might have looked in there, but I don't think they did because, like I said, she was assumed missing. I was also told that the body was covered in lime to help with the smell.
That could explain.
But I don't know exactly. I don't know. I just don't get that either, to be honest with you. Like, wow, like, because some people
reports say that she was covered in lime.
I don't think it's ever been mentioned. That might be something that's not available to the public in case the killer says, they have somebody there like, hey, what did you put her in? Because some people said the plastic maybe could have stopped her smell.
Yeah, she was wrapped, like certainly.
That would be basically head to toe. So if they just like roll her up, her head and feet, are going to be sticking out. That's the way I would. That's the way I kind of picture it.
Plastic that was really big too, so her feet and head may have not been out.
But there'd still been an opening. What I'm saying, they would have fold it and all that. Yeah. They would have to do all that. But the lime, like, if they dump lime on her, they would have had to dump it on her and then roll her up in the plastic. Is the only thing I could think of. Unless they just dumped, because it wouldn't matter if they just put lime on the plastic itself.
No, they would have put it on her.
Yeah. But the only thing that would be basically helping with the smell. So with the not being found for a week, and that would also, like to me, it seems like they possibly were trying to hide her, but I I don't know because I've read a lot today about like the drug scene, but I don't think there was any issue with her with that I'm aware of.
I don't think anybody's ever spoke on it.
Yeah, nobody said anything, but people just talking about Huntington, in that area. Like, I don't think that was with her. And say that somebody drug related did kill her, I don't see them hiding her. Most of those are just straight up shoot them or kill them, leave them where they lay, and take off. So I don't really see that being, one of the issues there. Personally,
unless it was like we are.
Yes, we're very, very sleepy. 3 kids and all that, and I've been up. Well, we both got up to get the kids ready for school. Which usually go to bed
It don't matter.
midnight or so.
Continue.
I don't know how true this is because the only way I could see it, because when you're looking at the apartment, you got 2 windows in the back. Then you see like vents, but they said something about that you could enter the crawl space from different places from around the building. Like, I don't see any other openings beside those windows, but I'm assuming those windows just look in the basement. Because that also brought up another point. Somebody said it could have just been some random person off the street looking at her in the windows if she was down in the basement.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how true that could be, but because on the other side, I've never really seen, because on the other side, you got basically a little area and then the next house. So I don't know if there's windows on that side that they could possibly get in. And I don't think you'd be able to enter the crawl space through any of the apartments downstairs. So they had to cut the floor up to pull her up out of
Do
it.
you have a blueprint?
No. I don't think any blueprints.
I wonder if it's like public record, like if you could get it.
Possibly, but I really just don't see it being, besides the windows, and that's just going to put you in the basement. But they said the basement was a pretty good size. So I'm assuming it's a pretty good area open. I think that guy said that you could put probably 30 washer and dryers in there and still have plenty of room. But the crawl space, they said, covered most of the building as well. So.
Well, they usually do it like it's just a little area of the whole to like get to pipes and stuff.
Yeah. Like, I don't know, like, we'll go more into it, in our later thing. So I think the next one we got lined up is some photos we'll be sharing in a blog, and then we'll go live to actually go into detail with the photos to kind of explain. There might not be nothing to it, but just trying to look at every little angle. But overall with this, you're basically looking at, she was found in clothes, no sexual assault, strangulation. For you as a woman, do you think you could strangle another girl? With ease. Well, she didn't seem very, like, she seemed petite, like, little.
Not to sound like old, but yeah, definitely could.
Yeah, I could see it. Like,
especially if I'm mad, like if somebody pissed me off. Yeah.
But what
even if I wasn't mad, I probably could do it. But if I was mad, I definitely could do it.
Like, what would be the, like, okay, say you're in a situation, you're the female, what would make you other reasons to kill a female?
Oh man, I don't want to say anything because if it ever happens, that would be premeditated.
Do you think this was planned? It looks that way.
It kind of looks that way from where they went into her house, like the wrappers and all of that, like the way everything was left, and she could have just been a messy person. I don't know.
Well, the one picture I seen, it had the receipt in the floor, and it looked like the computer and stuff was right there, and you got like the bag and her bag that she packed.
Like it just seems like it was like abrupt, like somebody just, what I mean? Like somebody was like, oh, and it had to be someone good. She's like, oh yeah, I'm just like getting ready to get a friend's house, whatever. I gotta check my laundry. walk down there with her, like might be arguing about something, get into it, and then maybe it was an accident, like accidentally killed her, and then it was just like, oh shit.
Well, I think that's too with maybe what they're talking about the drug scene as well. Like maybe like she did do drugs, and then maybe an accidental overdose, and it's like, oh, I can be seen and put her. But I don't like I said, I don't see the drugs connected in her case.
I don't either.
Like nothing.
Like somebody would definitely know and come forward with it.
I'm sure the police would have revealed that after they.
But like, I forget. It depends on what drug you're doing, but when a medical examiner like does all that tests or whatever, they can show up to like how much you did within a period of time, like if it's still in your system. You know, they can say there's this many whatevers in her blood.
Like, which I gotta go.
So it would have showed up unless she, you know, didn't for a long time.
But you still think, like I said, if I don't know, to me personally, with how everything's set up, like that's one of the most things obvious with the suspect is that they either knew her personally, or they knew if they knew her personally, that means they had to have known the layout of the apartment to know the crawl space was there. Because like everybody says that.
There's somebody else that lived there.
Well, the one attendant was out of town, don't know where at, and the other two said had been somebody previously lived there. Or you got. Well, we're not.
Maybe somebody that's close with her and just has been there, like maybe stayed with her.
Like we're not going to get too much into suspect right now. I got to put up all together for my notes.
I always jump ahead.
But yeah, I want to say there's 5 or 6, give or take, suspects that I've read about, but we're not going to go into that detail yet. One of them, like I've not really read about, but I was told on the phone call I had with a gentleman. So I'm interested on that to get that one out there because that kind of makes it interesting as well. I'm trying to think with other. Nothing. Yeah, we got a few photos we're going to talk about, and then I think we have a blog about the motive and a theory, and then I think the suspect right there. I just got to basically put all my notes together and then get something down. But basically, when we do the suspects, the blog is just going to have the possible suspects, and then we'll have a video, kind of like we've been doing, that will explain reasonings and things that we've heard, read.
The stuff I keep bringing up.
Yeah, that involves why they were a suspect, what makes them a suspect, and stuff like that. But I think this is basically it for this because, you know, like I said, we basically wanted to just mostly focus on the body and the crawl space. So like
if we found a blueprint, we'll do a blog and post a link to it or something if we can find it.
Yeah, like I said, most of this was just overall view of crawl space, kind of hard to find, you know, body, you know, plastic, trying to get, which I'd like to really learn what kind of plastic it was. But I'd say if that information does get out, then, you know, it's something the cops lose on the case in case anybody ever gets. Because they did find the DNA on, or what was it? I forgot what. Starts with an M.
What?
Or the DNA they found starts with an M. I can't think right now. But I think what it basically boiled down to is a hair fiber, but they just couldn't connect it with nobody as of yet, or it wasn't enough. Basically, it was useless.
Like a partial.
Yeah, maybe, what you think though, because they tested it 10 years ago. I think it was 2009 when they got the result.
Well, if the person that they tested it from isn't in the system and they don't have anybody to compare it to, it's not going to matter anyway.
Now, I don't know if it's ever mentioned that anybody offered up any DNA to compare it to. Because I've heard they basically have one theory, and that's basically it. So we'll just have to wait and see if it's there. Like I said, because today is the 12th, and 2 more days, it's 12 years since she's, you know, been murdered. And it's basically not talked about at all. Like you saw, you know, I done a podcast episode in 2017. The West Virginia Mysterious YouTube. He done one. Well, it was him and his wife at the time. They done an episode on her, and then another lady, not sure where she's from, she done an episode on her that I shared in the first blog, and then a newer podcast I hadn't heard of until I started revisiting this case. They done a little episode on her as well, so it's kind of gotten out there, but not a whole lot over, you know, because His video, I think, came out right after I'd done my episode, and the other one came out June, and then I think the other podcast, it came out sometime this year. And it's kind of like I said, a lot of things I've noticed in Huntington, you got a good story with it, and then it just seems like it goes away, and then nobody ever talks about it anymore. But cases like this, these are the stories we got to keep alive and keep out there to hopefully, because whoever done this, they've had to have told somebody.
Maybe not.
They might not have, but it's hard. Like the way people are, like they've probably bragged about it to somebody, like whether. Say if it was
murdered somebody, I would not be
say if it was a guy. Well, that's the perfect way to get away with it. But say it was a guy, they're probably like, get mad at their girlfriend, like, oh, I could, kill you like I killed somebody else, and then talk about it.
I don't think I would do that. I think I'd just do
it. Somebody like they've told somebody. It's somebody that apparently they trust, because a lot of people they live with it.
Mm.
I just think it's going to eat at them.
Well, yeah, it might, but. Like, I probably wouldn't even tell you.
So you're saying you killed somebody?
No.
But that's, I don't know, that's just my personal opinion. Like, it's hard to, like, something.
Would you tell someone? Would you tell me?
It would eventually get out. Even if I didn't tell nobody, it would eventually get out, is what I'm saying. Like, it's going to slip. It's going to slip. Not many people can keep secrets. Or even, I don't know, it's just. Not saying, because, we're both from West Virginia. Well, I'm personally born in Kentucky, but I've lived in West Virginia all my life.
Oh, my God.
But I'm not, like, I read a comment somewhere where they basically said there's nobody smart enough in Huntington that would be able to do this and be able to get away with it for, like I said, going on 12 years. Like,
when did the people from Detroit start coming over? When did all that mess happen?
I'm sure.
Really bad at time frame. Like, I have no idea.
I'm really sure.
You know how awful I am at time frame stuff.
Yeah.
If it was one of them, I guarantee you they did not give a shit.
Very possibility. Very possibility.
I better not accuse them, though. Come after us.
Yeah, we'll go into suspects later on. I'll try to get a date and everything set up for all that. But I think we're going to wrap this up because we've been kind of rambling on the past few minutes. Like I said, overall view, strangulation, personal method. So basically, they strangled her. They most likely were eye to eye. Leah looked at her killer while they're strangling her. Personal method. So that's somebody that kind of speaks revenge. No sexual assault, no robbery, it seems like. So we're looking at, it seems like a revenge, or something about her that they didn't like, which I don't see what it could have been, because everybody always talks about how nice she was, that she was an angel, and all that. So somebody has
their demons. Like, she could have had a dark secret with someone.
Which it might not even been with her. It could have
been an accident.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, it couldn't even been with her. They could have been pissed off at somebody else. And the
only way to hurt them was to hurt her.
Yeah, that's a very possibility. But thank you guys for all tuning in. And like I said, just keep looking on our Facebook page and or the group we have, and we'll
we have a Facebook page, group, and an Instagram
and Twitter.
I
finally remembered the password a while back.
I always forget about Twitter because I had to delete mine.
I have a personal one, but I never get on it. But like I said, thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you all later.